Assistant coaches are Jomar Tierra, Jody Valenya, and Leo Mampusti. Referees for this ball
Primary
game are Alan
protagonists for this
Manzano,
ball
Ray
game, Mark
Gabriel.
Cruz, Nico Panganiban in the backcourt. Hafer Mondragon is the man in the middle. JB Belechon, Don Reverente para kay Coach Marlon Keith Martin. Paulo Ponteos, Patrick Anunuevo, Floyd Dedicatoria, Darius Estrella, and BJ Serios for Coach Nat Gregorio in the Laguna Krah Asia Heroes.
And the matchup to watch is Paulo Ponteos versus Mark Cruz. What a matchup that is, a point guard matchup.
Different generations of NCAA superstars. Of course, Mark Cruz hailing from the Letran Knights. Samantalang ito si Paulo Ponteos, a star for the JRU Heavy Bombers.
Yes, and both diminutive players. They're small players, but they're really fun to watch. They could score.
Good pass inside to Reverente. He could not finish with the reverse. Laguna with possession here. Dedicatoria working against Mondragon. Gets it to Pontejos. Get it to Estrella, top of the key. That's way off. That jumper by Darius Estrella.
Just looking at the lineups out there, you can see how strong this Gensan team is as well. Full of professionals of various levels, and you can see how everyone can score in the lineup. And with Laguna, you can see they're quite same level height. As you can see Don Reverente there with a nice alley basket.
Great setup right there. Backdoor play, eye in the sky to get the first points of the board in this game. The Gensan Warriors getting 2 points. Serios drives inside the stretch and the finish.
Laguna will be looking to go to their two main players, Serios and Paulo Ponteos.
Laguna is on a 3-game losing streak. Samantalang itong Gensan bounced back in their last game with a win. Almost the same play this time on the other side. Año Nuevo. Serios tries to locate the Dedicatoria in the shaded area. Two-man game up top. Paulo working on Cruz. This is the matchup we've been talking about. Fall away doesn't work.
He'll be looking for that shot every time down the court.
Cruz free for 3. Gets it to go.
So Mark Cruz scores. As Gensan will also be looking to get the ball to Mark Cruz a lot.
First 3 points of the game, courtesy of the Ant-Man, Mark Cruz. 5-2 is the count in the early goings of our first period. Serios, tap from behind by Reverente. That's going to be a baseline inbound para dito sa Heroes.
Laguna has a very simple offensive set. As I can see, the previous occasions they were down.
This 3-point shot by Mark Cruz is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Mark Cruz, always a dead shot from downtown. All the way from Ponteos, doesn't work.
Like I was saying, Laguna just has that top pick and roll for Serios and Ponteos.
In Belenchon, fouled on that one-legged jumper. That's going to be a push against Paulo Pontejos.
Laguna Krah Asia. 3 free throws for JP Belenchon.
3 free throws going to be awarded here to JP Belenchon.
Yeah, JP Belenchon, one of the more prolific scorers in basketball, whether it's the 5-on-5 or 3x3 level.
And he's that type of player who doesn't see a shot that he doesn't like.
Yeah, he scores everywhere. 2 points, 3 points. He has such a deep bag.
Also coming from Colegio de San Juan de Letran, itong si JP Belenchon. 2 out of 3 from the line. 7-2 is our tally here. Dedicatoria. Gets it to Estrella. Couldn't get it to VJ. Floyd gets it back. Oh, Estrella was not looking.
Yeah, that's should have been a heads-up play there.
Another turnover here para dito sa Laguna. Struggling to find their bearings on offense to start our game.
Yeah, for struggling teams, I think the best way, one of the better ways to get wins is to keep the ball. Every possession matters.
Not another bucket here for Gensan. This time coming from Hafer Mondragon. Also Letran Knight. That's something that he could do. Always a very reliable shooter from that distance.
Yeah, he's a tall player who can shoot from the outside. That's always nice to have.
And Gensan gets the steal. Reverente leading the break. Leaves it for Mondragon. Blocked from behind by Dedicatoria. That's going to be a foul against Hafer.
Yes, Gensan also looking to run. They have big men who can run. They got guards who can set up.
First substitution of this game, Palhares will give Estrella a spell on the bench. Almost 4 minutes into this one. Ponteos at the post on Nuevo, working against Panganiban, and he will score. Wow.
You see the heft of Nuevo there, putting it to good use.
Cruz gets a screen from Don. Emergency pass to Reverente. Cross court to Mondragon. Hafer, the fake, the pass. Reverente can't score. Nuevo now walking it up.
Oh, it's being double teamed.
And the steal completed here. 2-on-1. Reverente. That's a hard foul by Nuevo.
There again, another turnover from Laguna. Just as I was saying, that they should be taking care of the ball every time.
Number 6, Matt Nuevo, that's his first. Second team foul for Laguna Krah Asia.
Second team foul para dito sa Laguna Krah Asia Heroes. Reverente is our guest at the line. Missing on the first. Don Reverente only averaging 58.9% from the charity stripe this season. 0 out of 2 on that trip.
Yeah, but you can see his body of work. Parang robot, no?
Oo, bionic man nga ito si
Yes.
Don Reverente. One of the veterans here in the MPBL. Proud favorite actually.
And you can see Serios couldn't back him down.
VJ Serios. Ganda rin ang kwento nito. I mean, he's one of the more experienced players that we have here in the league. But the dedication that he has to the game, still being in shape at this kind of age. And biro mo, sa Quezon yan nakatira, bumabiyahe yan papuntang Laguna para mag-ensayo.
Wow.
Nagmumotor yan.
My goodness. If you don't call that dedication, I don't know what is.
VJ Serios also imparts his knowledge to the game sa mga bata din sa Quezon. Meron siyang parang coaching clinic doon as Panganiban. It's another bucket para dito sa Warriors. 7-point lead for Gensan.
It's always nice to have savvy veterans in the team, you know. They're helping the young ones out. Ako, I can attest to that. Bata ako ng mga veterano ng all of the teams I've been, and it really helped me in my journey.
Who, in your playing career, who have been the mentors na talagang tumatak sa iyong karera?
Going back in college, I was in Ateneo for a while. Ang veteran ko was Poy Eram. And when I got to UP, it was different players. Mikey Reyes, Marco Ruena, they were the big influences in my college career. And too many to name na nung nag-pros ako.
Of course, Mikey Reyes, one of the guys who have the distinction of having a triple-double dito sa MPBL. One of 8 players to have a triple-double.
Okay yung stat na yun, ha?
Oo.
Yeah, I love that tidbit. Shout out to Mikey.
Of course, 2 players getting triple-doubles in this season. Marcy Arellano being one of them. He has 2 to his name in this campaign. And the other guy is Enzo Hoson from the Marikina Shoemasters, their leading scorer.
You know how hard it is to get 10 of each stat? So that's such a nice accolade to get.
Among the others with that stat, Bobby Ray Parks, Andoy Estrella, among those players. Pontejos, the step back, this time guarded by Nico Elorde, who just checked into the game.
That's his signature step back, Paulo Pontejos. He's also from the South, and we actually play a lot of high-level pickup games. It's really, really hard to guard Paulo Pontejos, I can tell you that. If you look at him, He's small. He's not that. His body's not that big, but he'll wriggle through all the spaces that you can see on the court, and you can see it here in the game.
Ponteos is the leading scorer for the Laguna Heroes this season, averaging 11.8 points per game. But that guy is not far behind. He has 11.2 in his average. Ito si BJ Serios gets a pass to Reginald Boyles, who gets fouled.
And here on the court, you can see some ex-PB players. You see Nico Ilorde.
Formerly of the Northport Batang Pier. Mid-season addition para dito sa Gensan Warriors. And he has really been giving a lot of stability to that point guard position para kay Coach Marlon Martin, which also boasts of Jerry Pingoy at that spot.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have someone like Nico, very, very experienced at the highest level of basketball.
He is the epitome of steady, itong si Nico Elorde.
Yeah, you just ask him to do the basic things and he'll do it very, very well.
Elvin Chan making his first appearance, posting up against Miko Palhares. That's going to be an offensive foul against Elvin Chan.
It's nice to see players like Elvin Chan. I mean, they're bucking the trend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't mean you're a big player. Doesn't mean you can play at this level. You definitely can play as long as you have the game.
Well, actually, to your point, he's actually one of Coach Marlon Martin's favorite players kasi grabe yung IQ niya. His touch to the game is just different. He sees it in a whole nother level compared to the other guys. And despite his physical appearance, you still want players like that on your team.
Exactly. You see Elvin Chan. Sa unang tingin, you might, if you're a judgmental person, you might just, you might just think of him as parang just someone that you could see anywhere. But
And here he is.
Once he picks up the ball, he's a genius on the court. So that's nice to have in every team.
Sabi nga nila, never judge a book by its cover.
Yes, Javi.
Palhares short on the leaner. Sorella secures the possession for Gensan.
Lots of experienced players. Nicole Sorella, one of the more experienced players here in this Gensan team.
But Serios, clean swipe of the leather. Nieles, bounce pass. Palhares will finish. In Laguna, after being down early in this quarter, they have roared back with this run to get themselves within just a possession. 11-9 is the count. Let's look at the previous play here. Excellent feed here by JP Nieles to his teammate Miko Palhares on that left side of the court. Coach Marlon Martin will take a ceasefire here, 11-9.
At the Muntinlupa Sports Complex for your OKBet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis, and the Gensan coaches are aware that the competition is getting tougher by the day. Kaya naman may mga bagay-bagay here and there na mga gusto nilang ayusin getting into the next levels of this competition. First, which is their main problem, is their inconsistency on defense. Second, masyado daw silang patient sa bola, like taking it to the basket in the last 2 seconds of the shot clock. Third, they still want to develop their rebounding, especially Christian Fajarito, as the others are not big enough compared to the other teams. Well, let's see how this works for them. And of course, happy birthday to Nico Elorde. Javi, Dar?
Oh, thank you for that report, Mika. Happy birthday to Nico Elorde. I didn't know that it was his birthday today, so birthday game para kay Nico Elorde. But going back to Mika's report, that inconsistency on defense, you really want to sharpen that, especially if you're heading into the playoffs. Lahat ng mga hindi mo nagagawang i-sharpen during the regular season, gusto mo at the tail end of your campaign dito, gusto mo talagang papunta ka na doon at least.
Yeah, this is, like I said earlier also, you can practice your reps, you can get some schemes in that you can practice. Sometimes it's a luxury also to be going up against teams like this. Now, you know you're the better team. You can practice certain sets, and that works because once the playoffs begin, it really gets serious.
Gensan may be the better team, but Laguna, they still want the victory here. Palhares getting a three-pointer from that right corner. But the birthday boy answering right back with a three-pointer of his own. 3 seconds ang nalalabi.
It's really nice to have a birthday game.
JP Nieles not aware of the time on the clock as it expires here in the first 10 minutes of action. This is our second game of our Tuesday triple header dito sa Muntinlupa Sports Complex. Some highlights from the first 10 minutes of action. Don Reverente, Gensan was really calling that play a lot. That guy, Mark Cruz, getting a bucket to go from three-point country. 1 out of 5 ang Gensan in that quarter from downtown. Sorry, make that 2 out of 6. But Pat Nuevo and company making a game out of this, just down by 4 points at the end of one. 16-12, we'll be back with the second quarter. Numbers from both teams this season. Laguna behind in the points scored department, 79.7 compared to their 67.5. But dun sa points allowed, di masyado nagkakalayo. But of course, Gensan is leading that as well as +7 in the rebounding department.
Almost halos evenly matched except sa points scored yung dalawang teams na to.
The Heroes with first possession here in the second period. Palhares hit the 3 earlier. Off to the right. Nico Elorde. Oh, finds a clear lay to the basket, but babies that one-hander. Nieles now pushing the basketball. Palhares working against Sorella. He has the speed advantage. That's good defense by Micol.
Yeah, Palhares actually the leading scorer after the first quarter for Laguna. So they should get the other players in on the action here. Gensan fairly balanced in the scoring. Everyone's scoring 2s and 3s.
5 out of 14 from the field for Laguna in the first quarter. 6 out of 15 para sa Gensan.
Yes, Marlon Gomez, who I remember played for Perpetual.
A lot of former NCAA, actually a lot of former college players playing now in the MPBL. Always a welcome sight. Medyo nagre-reminisce ka dun sa mga panahon na nanonood ka ng UAP at saka NCAA.
Yes, exactly. And you see the players na napapanood mo and also the players na nakalaro mo. So that's quite cool to see.
Raymond Matias gets his first bucket of the game. Also just checked in. 3.7 points per game this season. But 9.4 rebounds per contest ito si Raymond Matias.
Very reliable veteran yan, si Raymond Matias.
Oh, siyempre, kapatid yan ni Ronnie Matias of the Manila Stars. Sorella, specialty of the house.
Yes, Sorella, such a good shooter. He's also one of those tall shooters who can play the wing, defend wings, and also play big man.
But surprisingly, Micol is only averaging 14.7% from downtown. Maybe owing also to the lack of attempts in this season. He has been in and out of the lineup ni Coach Marlon Martin due to injuries.
Yeah, minsan kasi you only have a limited, especially if you're just a role player, you only have a limited amount of shots. So you got to make the most out of it every time.
And sometimes, you know, these numbers, they don't really do justice to the kind of capabilities that you have, especially by that guy, Micol Sorella.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a star player type of player.
Coming out of San Beda University, itong si Micol Sorella. Ping Masaglang, all-star para sa Gensan Warriors. Gets a bucket to go. One of the fixtures of that team. 4 points in the game para sa kanya. After being up by just 4 points, 16-12 of the end of one, Gensan is now up by 9, 23-14. Nieles tries to give it to VJ Serios, but that pass is way too high para kay VJ.
Yeah, some early observations. I've been seeing Laguna sort of panicking on offense, and those panic moments creating turnovers. And they really, really need to tighten up on their possessions.
And I don't know if you agree with me, but to your point, because of their panic, I mean, the reason for their panic is because the captain of the ship on the floor for them, si JP Nieles, looks a lot tense.
Yeah, they really need their captain to compose himself, because as a captain, everybody follows your lead. And if you see the captain a bit nervy, I guess that affects the other players as well.
Substitutions here para sa Gensan Warriors. Pingoy will check in first appearance in this game along with Brian Hilario. Paulo Ponteos checks back in to give Nieles a spell on the bench.
Yes, another matchup that's nice to see. Ponteos versus Pingoy. Javi, your former teammate, Jerry Pingoy.
Former UAAP Juniors back-to-back MVP and season 75 champion. Hilario from the left corner. Couldn't get that one to go. Fajarito. Oh, this is also a guy I'm very familiar with. And he has been playing well as of late. Itong si Christian Fajarito. 20 points in that game against the San Juan Knights. Nagulpi de gulat ang Knights in that game dito kay Christian Fajarito.
Yeah, he has so many moves in the post.
There you
Score
see.
easily.
Getting that bucket to go, Christian Fajarito. Timeout muna tayo dito. Coach Nat Gregorio calls for a ceasefire. Christian Fajarito only averaging 6.2 points per game this season, but 51.9% from the field and almost 4 rebounds a game. But as we mentioned earlier, 20 points, 7 out of 9 from the field, and 6 rebounds in that game against the San Juan Knights.
Yeah, Christian Fajarito was, funnily enough, another one of my former teammates. He was my teammate for a time in the Zamboanga family's brand Sardines. Really good in the post, really tough to cover over there.
And he has always been a player na kikitaan ng potential ever since his high school days in FEU. But somehow, di masyado nare-realize. But I'm happy to be seeing him now getting ample playing time and producing the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, most players just really need a good break.
This free throw by Paulo Ponteos is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And talking about that break, you know, Christian Fajarito, hopefully, the last game that he had, he scored 20 points. Hopefully, that starts a blooming career for him here in the MPBL.
Orbeta also making his first appearance in this one. Getting fouled on the shot. 24-17, 7-point advantage para dito sa Gensan Warriors. Orbeta will troop to the line, his first trip. Gets the first. Gensan is 3 out of 6 as a team in this game from the free throw area.
One thing I realized, in the high levels of basketball, free throws are so important. So every time you get a trip down the line, you got to make those shots.
Were you a good free throw shooter in your playing career? I know I wasn't, so I'm not even gonna gloat on that.
Honestly, it's been a bit more...
Or is that a sensitive topic?
No, medyo erratic sa akin yun. Medyo erratic free throws ko. But recently, I've been practicing a lot of reps on my free throws.
Well, alam mo naman what they say, practice makes perfect. And cliche as it may sound, gano'n naman talaga eh.
Exactly. Oh.
Matias getting one inside. That's reverse for the 2 para dito kay Raymond Matias.
Yeah, Matias, one of those veterans again that you'd be banking on here for Laguna.
Hilario being pressured by Raymond. Pingoy locates Masaglang. He's against Boyles. Boyles goes under. Masaglang takes it. Doesn't make it. Orbeta loses possession. Paulo bringing it up. Ponteos, the in and out, crossover, the step through, the pass, Dedicatoria with the score.
Laguna keeping it really close. They're just down 5.
26-21, midway through our second quarter.
Despite the turnovers for Laguna, it's nice to see them. They're just... And Farito with an amazing move there. That's what I'm talking about. When he gets the ball in the post, you could expect either free throws or 2 points from Farito.
I remember back then, he was so thin when he got to FEU. Pero right now talagang he put on some weight. Went to the weight room and bulked up.
Yeah, that's another thing I realized as a big man in the pros. You really got to put on some weight.
It's not all talent anymore pagdating mo sa level na to.
Yeah, for sure.
As Estrella gets a bucket on the break. Back to a 5-point lead para dito sa Gensan. Pingoy calling out the shots here for Gensan.
Here's Farito again.
Oh, there is an unsportsmanlike foul that will be called. I believe this is going to go against Floyd Dedicatoria.
It's getting really physical. I mean, nakikita ko na sila medyo nagkakaroon na ng girian, Javi. This is all part of the game, but sometimes you don't want it to go too far.
Well, credit to our officials for controlling the action here.
Number 3, Raymond Matias. His first personal foul, second team foul.
And I stand corrected, the unsportsmanlike foul will be called against Raymond Matias. Not really sure what happened there. So this is going to be 2 free throws plus ball possession para dito sa Gensan Warriors. Our referees for this game, Manzano, Gabriel Francisco, and Galiga, the 4th man on the sidelines. Masaglang makes the first.
And this is a bit unfortunate for Laguna. They were just getting in on a rhythm and staying close. Sometimes this could start a run for the opposing team. So you don't want them to get easy baskets in the free throw line.
Down on at 14 seconds.
30-23. Pingoy will take it. Doesn't get that one to drop. Año Nuevo with a rebound. Pontejos trapped on the left wing. Cross court, gets it back. He will not use the screen. One-hander. Doesn't work para kay Paulo Pontejos.
Ponteos needs to get on the board here. He needs to get more points up. His team needs him.
Only 3 points to his name so far. Ito si Paulo Ponteos. Farito missing on the point-blank attempt.
That's nice for Gensan. I like them going to Fajarito every time they can.
Trying to exploit that height advantage that Christian has down low. The only big man, well, the guy playing the 5 position para dito kay Coach Nat Gregorio is Floyd Dedicatoria, and he is really not a big man. Alam naman natin, especially in his playing days with the JRU Heavy Bombers, played a lot of the wing.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're taking advantage of. I mean, he's experienced, but in the position that he's playing right now, they could exploit him with Fajarito's skill set.
Pero syempre, alam naman natin si Floyd Dian magpapatalo. Veteranong-veterano na yan.
Oh, and this is a joke that I have sa veterans. The older they get, the harder they are. So, minsan parang mga kahoy na yan pag binangga mo. Kahit makikita mo, they're quite skinny, pero pag binangga mo, tigas pala.
Oo naman. Oh, you're definitely not lying there. First-hand experience for you.
Yes.
Laguna couldn't get that possession to work. Pingoy, a little hesitation. Drive to the right. Kick out. And they could not handle the basketball there. Only the 4th turnover of the game for the Gensan Warriors. Estrella, double high pick. Floyd pops out. Hands it off to Año Nuevo. Pat working against Pingoy. The muscle inside.
I'm not really sure if it's muscles, but I mean, that's some heft right there.
All right, maybe heft. Yeah, you're right.
I want to comment on Anya Nuevo. It's also really hard to defend players like him. They're really stocky, they're big. They could move you anywhere on the court. So you really got to stay shifty, be shifty on your legs when defending players like him.
It could be a good matchup for a guy like Elvin Chan.
Yes, exactly. We'd love to see that.
We hope to see that later on in this game. Pajarito, tough shot with the left. Dedicatoria secures the board. No numbers here for Laguna, but Paolo will take it anyway, and he will be fouled from behind.
Okay, so fast Paolo Ponteos was there. That's a quick burst, and he just went by two people there.
Well, you know, Paolo, he has always been known as a player with the ability to turn on the jets anytime on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. He could run the break and score on the half court. So that's very rare to see actually in some guards. Some guards can't really score. Hindi sila masyado magaling sa half court. I mean, it's really just one thing. But for Paolo Ponteos, he could do both really well.
This free throw by Paolo Ponteos is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Ponteos, the leading scorer of the Laguna Krah Asia Heroes. Only a 59.1% shooter this season from the charity stripe. Split at the line para kay Paolo. 30-24, under 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Here's Mark Cruz again, back in action. Back to Pajarito.
Oh, that pass intended for Orbeta, a little bit too high. That's going to be another turnover for Gensan.
When you see Gensan playing, they're actually running sets for Pajarito every time down.
They're running the offense through him. But for good reason, he did have 20 points against a very formidable squad in the San Juan Knights, who boast of a very deadly front line. Mark Sarangay, Maki Acosta, or rather, sorry, that was previously in this season. They do have guys like Joseph Celso in that lineup, as well as Michael Calisaan. Timeout muna tayo dito. 30-24 is the count. 1 minute and 29 remaining. First game result, Mindoro losing another one, extending their losing skid to 13 against the number 2 team in the South Division, the Zamboanga Families Brand Sardines, 111-72. As the team of Coach Vic Casiano ties Batangas City Embassy Chill at 16-3, but by virtue of win over the other, the Embassy Chill still hold that top spot in the South. Tabi Palanya joined by Darius Bederi and Mika Abisamis is at courtside. There you go, Christian Pajarito. They've been relentless in going to him in this game, getting a bucket finally.
Yeah, they're going to him. Like you said, Avi, they're running the offense through him, and he's scoring here. He has a steal.
1 man ahead, 2 man. Mark Cruz finishes. Christian Pajarito affecting those past couple of plays para sa Gensan. Offense, defense, back to offense. Another timeout taken here by Coach Nat Gregorio. Let's look at what happened on this previous play. Look at that, Darvish.
Yeah, the Pajarito doing both, working on both ends, offense and defense right there with the steal and the pass to Mark Cruz.
Timeout tayo dito muli. We're gonna stay on here. But 4 minutes and 44 seconds remaining as we look at the tournament format dito sa ating 2022 MPBL regular season. 21 games for all the 22 teams playing. It was a single round robin, and of course the top 8 teams will advance to the playoffs with the top 4 squads in each division holding home court advantage. Quarterfinals, semifinals, division finals will be a best of 3 affair with, of course, the higher seeds taking the home court advantage in all those series. And in our national finals, converging between the North and the South. It will be a best-of-5 affair.
This is something unique actually to MPBL, Javi, the home and away playoff game. So this is something that we actually don't have in our other leagues here in the Philippines. And this is really nice because it highlights the home court advantage that's similar to what we see on the NBA.
Kaya naman talaga ibang klase yung pride na pinapakita ng mga koponan, especially with teams that have a lot of homegrown players. Just like Paolo Pontejos, who is a homegrown for Laguna, getting 2 points. What a stretch that was. But going back to what I was saying, teams like Pampanga and Bataan, who are mostly made up of players from that province, talagang ang tindi ng pride na pinaglalabanan nila as we bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OKBet. Owned the win. Paolo Pontejos getting the step on Hilario and finishing over the much taller Christian Barrito.
Yeah, like you said, Avi, pride ang labanan. Each city battling for pride, and that really shows when we get to the playoffs. It's going to be exciting seeing the home court teams battle.
Iba kasi yung feeling ng fans na they're part of that team being from that same province.
Yes, exactly. It's passion. Now we don't really find anywhere else kasi they're supporting their local team.
Yes.
Medyo UAAP vibe, medyo school vibes pag ganun kasi they're really cheering for their own city. So, grabe yung labanan.
Once again, thank you to Senator Manny Pacquiao, our beloved founder, for making all of this possible. Turnover here for Laguna. Cruz shovels it. John Orbeta on the secondary. The stretch doesn't work. Fajarito will be fouled by VJ Serios.
Another cool thing I observed playing with Fajarito, his wingspan is actually crazy. I mean, I'm 6'7", and I think Fajarito is around 6'6", but his wingspan is just really wide, and it helps get rebounds, loose balls, those stray taps. It really works. So physically, also Christian Fajarito very imposing.
2 for 2 from the line para dito kay Christian Fajarito. (36-26), 7 seconds remaining. Pontejos, cross court, Palhares for 3. That doesn't work. Hilario. No more time on the clock there as Landicho was bothered. Gensan asking for a foul. But nevertheless, that will mark the end of the first 20 minutes of action dito sa Muntinlupa Sports Complex. This is the second game of your Tuesday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Ping Masaglang, the all-star of the Gensan Warriors, has been a vital cog in that first half attack para sa kanila. Defense, offense, you name it, Ping Masaglang will always be there para sa kanilang koponan. He had 6 points in that first 2 quarters para sa Gensan Warriors OKBet. Big reason why they're up by 10 right now, 36-26 itong si Ping Masaglang. He is with Mika Abisamis at courtside.
Maraming salamat. Kasama ko nga ngayon ang best player of the half na si Chris Masaglang. Chris, congratulations dun sa first half. Sabi nga nila coach kanina, hindi na daw importante kung sino ang kalaban ngayon. Lahat ng game getting into the next rounds, importante na at dapat ipakita ang best effort at yan ang pinakita nyo dito.
Pagpatuloy namin yung intensity namin sa laro para madala namin sa playoff.
Pero alam naman natin, ang Laguna, hindi pa sila nawawala sa standings. Importante sa kanila ang mga susunod na laban nila. Pwede pang pumutok yan sa second half. Anong iniisip nyo doon?
Hindi lang kami magkampante. Pagpatuloy na namin yung guard namin sa depensa at transition namin.
Okay, maraming salamat and good luck sa second half. Magbabalik po ang OKBet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis, and I am with a very important person, Assistant Coach McCoy Likin of Gensan. Coach, importante na lahat ng laban sa mga susunod na araw. Gusto nating iset yung mga utak ng boys. So anong sinasabi nyo?
Yeah, we always tell them na stay positive and stay focused. Lalo na ngayon, yung end of the season na. Masyadong dikit-dikit yung standing namin. Actually, yung 1 to 5 sa South, sa division namin, wala pang alam kung sino talaga yung nasa pwesto ng 1 to 5. So, we keep them stay on focus on the game.
At dahil dyan, Coach, sigurado kung ang fans ng Gensan inaantay na kayo sa next rounds, meron ka bang mga gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Nagpapasalamat kami sa mga sponsor namin, OKBet, CD14, si Boss Carlo and Dinky Skin, Tycoon 69 and Iconic Motor and Sales, si Brother Nick, tsaka yung mga Gensan fans. Pwedeng bumati. Binabati ko yung family ko, si Papalito, si Mama Wena, si Makoy Liet, Ate Mitzi, Xculin, si Max lalabas na, si Mami Angelique, I love you guys. Tsaka yung mga kaibigan ko sa Lardisabal Dental Clinic dyan sa Makati. Tsaka yung nakalimutan kong batiin ng happy birthday si Boss Dennis Perez last week. Happy birthday, Boss Dennis. And birthday ngayon ni Nico Elorde. Happy birthday, Nico. Tsaka yung mga MPBL fans natin sa abroad, sa Bermuda, Pinoy Basketball League, sila Last Man, Yema Guevara. Hi sa inyong lahat, sa lahat ng fans ng MPBL. Keep on watching and thank you very much.
Tama kayo dyan, Coach. Napakadami talagang fans ng MPBL all over the world. Once again, that's Assistant Coach McCoy Likin of Gensan. Magbabalik po ang OKBet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino sa Luzon.
Halftime here at the Muntinlupa Sports Complex. The Gensan Warriors leading the Laguna Krah Asia Heroes 36-26 after the end of the first 20 minutes of action. Some highlights from the first two quarters as you see on your screens. Gensan opening this game and running a lot of their sets. That time getting a backdoor pass, alley-oop play to Don Reverente. They ran that a couple of times. Itong Laguna naman, they struggled to start this game, but somehow were able to regain their bearings and finish the first quarter that's just down by 4 points.
Yeah, you can see Gensan really steady, playing steadily well in the first quarter.
And come the second quarter, ito si Raymond Matias, he was able to get a basket here para dito sa Laguna Krah Asia Heroes. They were down by 5 points at the halfway point of that second quarter. But this guy, Christian Pajarito, they ran a lot of their offense, talking about the Gensan Warriors, through him. Paulo Ponteos able to get some plays to go para sa kanyang kupunan. But at the end of it all, Gensan was just too good and they ended up the first half up by 10 points. Some numbers from the half.
You can see Gensan leading in bench points. And here, like I said, Laguna not doing too well with their turnovers with 8 in the first half.
Yeah, and those 8 turnovers were converted into 12 turnover points ng Gensan while they only committed 5 of their own. Bench points lamang rin dyan ang Warriors, 23-12 plus 9 in that department. Free throws, hindi rin maganda ang percentage ng Gensan in that department, but still more attempts and more makes. Leading scorers at the half for both teams. Pajarito has 8 to lead everyone. Palyares is leading the Heroes with 7. Ponteos not far behind with 6. Matias, he has 4. Third quarter now underway here between Gensan and Laguna.
Same play again.
That play once again.
They love that. I guess they start each quarter with that play.
Pangatlong beses na nila tinatakbo yan in this game.
I'm also curious to see how Gensan continues to make Pajarito the focal point of their offense. So it's nice to see.
Pajarito starting this third quarter alongside Don Reverente, Nico Panganiban, the all-star, one of the all-stars para dito sa Gensan Warriors, with Nico Elorde and Mark Cruz, 2-point guard combination para dito sa Warriors.
And a nice geeky stat, Javi. Christian Pajarito leading the game with a plus 12 in his efficiency rating. So you love to see that. That's something that actually coaches in the highest level, they look at that plus minus. They see that you have a good plus minus, you have a good chance of playing in the game.
And for all our viewers out there, the casual basketball fans, what does the plus minus mean?
I think the plus minus, it basically calculates your effectiveness on the court, how much points your team has scored.
When you're on the floor.
Yeah, when you're on the floor, the difference of the points scored.
Kung negative naman yan, ibig sabihin, pag nasa sahig ka, lumalamang ang kalaban.
Yes, exactly. But sometimes it's also an unfair assessment, but you get to see a clear picture when you look at the plus minus, usually.
5 seconds on the 24. Laguna, that's Pontejos getting fouled after that one-handed push shot, which he loves to take.
Yes, that's one of his signature moves then. He really jumps high for that push shot, that kind of floater that he does. And it's really hard to defend, even for players as tall as me. You could only hope that he misses.
Paulo Ponteos, 6 points in the game, make that 7 after that made free throw together with 2 points and 3 rebounds. 1 out of 2 from the line para kay Paulo Ponteos, a 59.8 free throw shooter this season. And for guards as explosive as Paulo, that is not acceptable.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, free throws. It's such a crucial part of it, especially for people like players like Ponteos who like to drive, like to draw fouls. They got to make their free throws.
Here he is at the controls for the red shirts. Elorde got hit there. He's on the floor. Left corner 3 for Paulo.
Yeah, and an inadvertent hit. And, you know, I think players like Nico Elorde who are really hogs when they're on defense, they really stick. And you can see it here. Oh, natamaan. But, I mean, Nico, coming from the famed Elorde family, surely has one of the toughest jaws and faces in all of basketball.
And talking about the Elorde family, they're greatly represented today here at the Muntinlupa Sports Complex. Of course, in support of the birthday boy, Nico Elorde.
Yes, lots of familiar faces.
Our colleague as well, Gareth Elorde, is in attendance to support his cousin ba?
Yeah, and shout out to another cousin, Alec Elorde, watching the game, my former teammate.
Score is 38-27 here. 11-point lead para sa Warriors. Under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Panganiban, free for 3. Gets it to go. Nico Panganiban, he has been a revelation in this season. 11.4 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists per contest, which earned him an all-star nod this season.
Yeah, those are his first points, and I could see from his stroke, looks like he's a good shooter, and as you said, Avi, he really is a good shooter.
Well, actually, as Ponteos misses that gimme, would have been a great play on the highlight reel. But actually, Panganiban, he was primarily known as a slasher. Kaya lang talagang he put in the work, put in the reps for that 3-point shot to work for him in games. And you're seeing the fruition of that work.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said, Avi. Practice makes perfect, and even for me, that really works. More reps, the better you get.
Cruz missing on the fall away. Matias gets the board. Ponteos swings it to Palhares. Having trouble inside the lane, but Palhares still able to connect. That's 9 points in the game para kay Nico. Elorde gets it right back with a 2-pointer of his own.
Looking to see Nico set the tone for this game more. On offense, and especially on defense. He was known since his collegiate years as a really good defender, and even in the PBA level, he was tasked to guard all of the great point guards in that league.
But people should know that before Nico was known as that defensive stopper, defensive specialist, during his days in De La Salle Zobel, he was one of the premier point guards in high school.
Yes, he was one of the best, actually, in all of high school, UAAP and NCAA juniors.
All of
And
that.
here he scores a 3. Birthday boy.
3-point shot right there for Nico Elorde. Now 8 points in the game. There's his wife on your screens, Miss Mitch Del Carmen, witnessing the action dito sa ating venue. Palhares staying aggressive, and he will get the hoop and the hit. Ito si Nico Palhares.
Actually, I didn't notice, Javi. It's quite a big lead for Gensan already in this game. We've been so focused on the action here that the score actually doesn't quite reflect Laguna playing quite well, making baskets, but Gensan just doing more.
Palhares wanting to change the narrative here para sa kanyang kupunan. That free throw of his is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Bonus was made by Palhares. 14-point advantage. Panganiban, same spot, different result. Reverente colors the offensive rebound. 10 left on the shot clock here for the White Shirts. Reverente to the left corner. Panganiban swings it. 4 on the shot clock. Is the matchup we've been talking about. Cruz, good defense by Ponteos. Matias almost got that ball stolen away. Palhares a little bit out of control. Gives it up to Paulo.
You could see Nico Elorde hounding Paulo Ponteos.
Oh, Palhares feeling it right there but couldn't connect on the 3-point shot. Panganiban, crossover, right-handed shot is good para kay Nico Panganiban. Scoreless in the first half but now has 5 points to his name. Ito si Nico Panganiban, who by the way, batang-bata pa, 22 years old pa lamang. Ito si Nico Panganiban.
Okay, the future is surely bright for Panganiban. And look, as he scores, you can see he really has the eye for the basket. It looks like he's a natural scorer.
The acceleration, the upper body strength, all in that package para kay Nico Panganiban, the all-star galing sa Gensan. Timeout muna tayo dito. Lead is 16 for the Warriors. Looking at the crowd here at the Muntinlupa Sports Complex. If you guys are in the vicinity, please do join us here for Tuesday action. We have a triple header for you. This is the second game of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Day 78 of our regular season. The playoffs coming up next. Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes, Captain Arbel on your screens, together with Operations Head Emer Oreta on his left. There's Rudy Distrito, Security Head on his right. Always present in the games, a brain trust of the MPBL. 16 points ang hinahabol dito ng Laguna Krah Asia Heroes. 4 minutes and 54 seconds ang nalalabi sa ating third quarter. Full court pressure defense here for Gensan. Ponteos bringing it up against Nico Elorde.
So Gensan throwing various defenders at Paulo Ponteos, and it looked like Nico Elorde is going to be the one who's going to be sticking with him.
Palyares, so step back against Panganiban, way off on that shot. Not really a good play coming out of timeout.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
Gensan has Elorde, Chan, Reverente, Mondagon, and Panganiban on the floor. There's going to be a foul away from play. That's going to go against Pat Año. That's going to be the fourth personal against Año. Año has 2 points in this game.
We have a good chance to see the matchup of Año and Elvin Chan here, House.
Oh yeah, both of them are on the floor. But Laguna in a zone. And Panganiban busts that zone with his second three-pointer of the game.
Yeah, he has 10 points now, all in the third quarter.
And this is the biggest lead for Gensan in this game. 19 points, 51-32. Only down by just 10 itong Laguna at the half. Down by just 4 at the end of 1. But Gensan has stamped their class on both ends of the floor here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Gensan just making stops and at the same time scoring each time down the floor.
Laguna, they're trying to arrest a 3-game losing skid in this one. While itong Gensan, they're trying to extend their winning run to 2 after that win against San Juan.
Yeah, it's nice to get a win streak there, Javi, just before the playoffs, even if there's a few games left. Coming off a streak of wins going to the playoffs, that's such a huge momentum boost for any team.
Estrella, the kick out. Año from straight away. Yes, sir. Much needed basket. Only the second three-point shot of this game for the Heroes. Elorde will answer. Each time that Laguna has scored on a three-point shot in this game, Elorde has been there to answer.
Yeah, Nico Elorde has 11 points now. He's feeling it in this game. It's his birthday, and you know, you feel good. It's your day. You play with more confidence than usual.
Especially with your family in the venue, you'd want to give them a show. Here's a three-pointer by Año Nuevo, challenged by Panganiban. But on the other end, Nico Elorde wasting no time in getting it back. Pontejos is our guest at the line. 8 points now after that charity. Second free throw on the way. 2 for 2 para kay Paulo Pontejos. And JP Nieles will check in para dito kay Paulo Pontejos. Getting a breather here.
Yeah, I think he got tired from Nico Elorde being in his grill almost the whole third quarter there. It's really tiring. It's really an underrated aspect if a defender as good as Nico Elorde is constantly on you. It's really tiring if you're the offensive player.
Chan could not get that one to go. Estrella, they don't have the numbers here, but Nieles will take it. They get the offensive rebound. Darius still no go para sa Laguna. Estrella has been struggling in this game. Only 2 points to his name.
The Laguna shooting 15% from 3. You need to get that up to have a chance at closing this gap.
Oh, shot there by Ping Masaglang. Favorite area of the floor. That perimeter, his stomping ground as always.
Piso-piso, tawag doon, Avi.
Oh, tama. One of the homegrown talents nitong Gensan Warriors. Matias. To the other side, to Dedicatoria. Steal here by Masaglang. One man to beat, and he will finish Ping Masaglang.
Yeah, that's Masaglang's 10th point. He's been feasting on these fast break layups coming from steals.
Masaglang only averaging 5.4 points per game in this season. Well above that, even doubling that number. Now a 21-point lead here for Gensan. Nieles, ill-advised shot, still out of control. Boy, JP Nieles has not been playing well in this game.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I hope he sorts it out before the game ends.
Substitutions para sa parehong kuponan dito. Serios will check back in. Along with Paulo Ponteos, just a short breather on the bench. Marlon Gomez naman papasok para dito sa Gensan Warriors. Chan will call out the play here for Gensan.
Both teams seem to be running zones. So Gensan running a 2-3 and Laguna seems to be running starting from a 3-2 and then dropping off to a 2-3 zone here. Nice.
Elorde from downtown. Yes, sir. Nico Elorde, happy birthday.
14 points for Nico Elorde. Love to see it.
3-point field goal story on your screen. 7 out of 15 para sa Gensan and only 2 out of 14 for Laguna. Boyle still can't change that.
I mean, that's the thing, Javi, with playing zone. You really sacrifice the outside shots. And right now, Gensan is making their outside shots. Laguna
Chando
struggling.
couldn't add to that total. Pontejos, he will cruise for the deuce. Trying to light the fire from underneath what has been a very cold third quarter para dito sa Heroes. 5 seconds on clock. Oh, excellent find. Masaglang just could not finish. What a very anticlimactic end to the third quarter para dito sa Gensan. Elvin Chan visibly frustrated with the way his squad ended the period. But nevertheless, they're up by a huge margin. Already a 24-point lead, which was just a 10-point lead at the half.
Yeah, they did really well in this quarter. They really outscored Laguna, and Gensan doing well inside, especially outside. Nico Elorde heating up at the right time. Panganiban scoring 10 points in this quarter. That also helped balloon the lead.
Palhares tried to get his team going, but the white shirts just on full attack mode. That guy, Nico Panganiban, scoreless in the first half, was able to get buckets. Ping Masaglang getting steals and getting buckets as well para sa kanyang kupunan, as his squad well ahead here, 61-39. And before we start this fourth quarter, a warning was meted on Elvin Chan for unsportsmanlike behavior. But we are now underway here in the final frame. Glad you could join us here. Quarter scoring on your screens. Gensan dominating that third period, 25-13, after Laguna was hanging in there in the first two periods.
Yeah, actually, Laguna was actually really struggling on offense. Gensan just took some time heating up, and once they were hot, oh, you could see in the third quarter, they were really hot.
First possession of the fourth belongs to Laguna. Ponteos, Estrella, Serios, Matias, and Boyles are the 5 on the floor. Paolo couldn't get that floater to drop. Gomez against Estrella, challenges the defense, and he will score. And one opportunity para kay Marlon.
Yeah, Marlon Gomez looking like a truck. Natatakot ka na, tatabi ka na lang eh.
Gets that one to go. Ito si Marlon Gomez. Prior to that, only had 2 points to his name. Let's turn you over to Mika Abisamis. Go ahead, Mix.
Coach Nat Gregorio feels that he has infused all of his needs from the boys into the system. There were some problems that came along, like their conditioning, but generally, the system is good. I like how he said, Mika, abangan mo kami next season. This shows his dedication to the team and how he wants to grow with them. Importante rin na ganito ang leader mo di ba, Javi Dar?
That's right. I mean, they're looking at the bigger picture definitely with just 2 games remaining after this season. Coach Nat Gregorio already looking forward. He has some pieces dito that could very well make him successful, but definitely a lot more additions needed in this roster.
Yeah, definitely. That's another part of the aspect of basketball, professional basketball. You got to build a team really well. And the right pieces should fit. And if it doesn't, it could sometimes lead to disaster. But nice positivity from the coach there.
Well, you know, I mean, this season has been up and down of sorts for all teams because prior to this season, syempre, pandemic pa, hindi lahat ng teams nagkaroon ng luxury of preparation time. Some teams only had 2 weeks, some teams 1 week nga lang ang pag-prepare, and other teams, of course, could not pool enough resources for them to have a competitive squad. But definitely, I'm sure a lot of them, especially the teams at the lower half of the team standings, are really looking forward to next season where it will be full blast. And I believe after only having 22 squads joining our season this year, 34 ang nakatalang sasali in our next season in 2023.
Oh, that's so exciting for someone for a free agent like myself. No, but like you said, Avi, the past months has been tough for each and every one. I mean, the preparation, the time given, and the resources also. That's a big part. I mean, one of the things that I was looking at was joining a team that's not just competitive, but could also, I mean, we're professionals here, so you'd expect to be treated like a professional. But sometimes, given the circumstances, that can't happen. And fortunately, we have this team still competing here.
Masag lang, just short on that gimme. Boyles nagmamadali dito. And he is fouled on that layup attempt. Nobody stopping the basketball there, and Reginald Boyles just going all the way.
And this is one thing I want to see also. I mean, mga magic hugot. This is the perfect time for that for Gensan. Putting players out who could get good reps, who could possibly prove themselves and help them in the playoff run.
This free throw by Boyles is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And as for Laguna, you know, you could find a spark of the bench. I mean, you could also see your potential players that you would carry over to the next season. This is a good chance for that.
23 puntos ang inahabol dito ng Laguna. 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the game. Gomez working against Matias. No problem right there para kay Marlon Gomez. And Marlon Gomez being at the same position as you, I'm sure my memories ka rin playing against Marlon Gomez.
Oh, that's funny that you mentioned that, because back in high school I played for LaSalle Zobel, and our head coach at that time was also the head coach of Perpetual, and we would train with the Perpetual college team. So Scotty, Jong Baloria at that time was there, and I remember I had one of those welcome to the college game moments from Marlon Gomez as he went straight through my chest. I couldn't breathe for a few seconds. That was so funny.
Just like how Kobe ran into Pau in that gold medal game, no?
Yeah, we all saw that viral video. Similar.
Of course, Marlon Gomez, one of the more known bruisers and one of the best big men that we have here in the MPBL. Gomez is averaging 7.3 points in almost 21 minutes this season, along with 6 rebounds and almost a couple of assists.
I'm glad you mentioned the bruisers because, you know, this league is full of really bruisers, really physical big men. Actually, not just big men, even the guards, even the wings, they're all, everyone has to be a bruiser. And that's the Philippine type of basketball that me being fortunate enough to play internationally, I've seen the stark contrast of play styles, and we as Filipinos, we really embrace the physicality of the game.
Kaya naman grabe naman talaga yung passion ng mga Pinoy sa basketball. And you know, when foreigners come here to play, talaga naninibago sila no matter how good they are dun sa kanilang mga bansa. Ibang-iba, there is really still some period of adjustment for them.
Yeah, they'd be surprised. They'd see someone who looked old or skinny, torching them or clamping them up. It's because that's the way the Filipinos play. Physical, smart, tough, gritty.
Palhares trying to get his team back into this one, but Gensan answering right back with a two-pointer of their own.
It's an amazing pass by Jerry Pingoy, picking out Marlon Gomez there.
Pontejos couldn't get that basket to go. And you were mentioning Jerry Pingoy, known scorer during his high school days, but he has really emerged as a really great passer. Actually, he's always had that good court vision ever since we were in high school. Kaya lang talaga, yung role niya noon as the top gun of our team, he was really relied upon to get those buckets. But at this level, he's been showing a lot of great feeds to his teammates.
Yeah, he's really transitioned from point guard to point guard there, Javi. Ang galing. I mean,
yeah, from shoot first to pass first.
Yes, I mean, you know, Javi, we're almost the same batch, and being part of the opposing teams, going up against Jerry Pingoy back then, you really had to be ready for him. He would put up 30 in a heartbeat on you.
Oh boy, yeah, and it was not just on offense. Other point guards would dread having Jerry Pingoy at the head of our pressure because he had really, he still has great on-ball instincts on defense, and that timing when he goes for the steal, lalo na pag umikot yung player, ang galing-galing niyang sumundot dun eh.
Yeah, I mean, such a multi-talented player, Jerry Pingoy. I'm so happy also to see him still playing at this level. I mean, someone also quite close to Jerry Pingoy. He's had his struggles, and that's a nice thing to see him playing here. I mean, the opportunity that this league has given to people like that with these kinds of stories playing still. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. It hasn't always been rainbows and sunshines for Pingoy's basketball career, especially after he got out of high school. Recruited by Ateneo, did not work out his career there, moved to Adamson, carved out a decent showing in the college game for the Falcons. Tried to enter the PBA draft, was drafted by the Phoenix Fuel Masters, but was unable to get a contract. And now strutting his wares for the Gensan Warriors in the MPBL.
Yeah, I mean, si Pingoy is not prototypical, yung tinatawag natin na hooper.
Oh.
Absolute hooper.
I mean, if you see this guy play on the streets, talagang he will dazzle you. 73-45, almost midway through our final frame. That's another errant pass there by Año Nuevo. 14 turnovers in the game. Gomez thinking three. Give and go. Mondragon tried to get it back to Marlon, but Gomez was fouled on the cut.
Yeah, Gomez has 11 points. So another spark from Gensan. It also shows how deep they are. I mean, anytime you see someone all of a sudden burst for 10 plus points and they come from the bench, that shows how deep a team is.
Gensan hasn't always been this good during games, especially at the start of the season. It took them a while to get their bearings, but they have been able to find that rhythm, and it has catapulted them to the 5th spot in the Southern Division. Orbeta getting basket in close.
Yeah, chemistry really takes time, Javi. I mean, for a team to gel, to get everything together, kumbaga, tawag natin magkaamuyan, it really takes time sometimes, but some teams, when they do, they get really good, like this Gensan team.
And actually, for teams like that who at the start wala pa talaga masyadong chemistry, yung long season na ganito, pabor na pabor sa kanila.
Yeah, this is sobrang pabor sa kanila yan kasi they get to play through it, play through the growing pains, learn each other's tendencies. And now we can see, technically, ano na sila, buong-buo na sila. No?
Yeah.
Magkaamoyan na sila lahat. Each one knows kung nasaan yung isa, and that helps.
Miko Palyares is our guest on the 15-foot parallel. 1 out of 2 on the line. Laguna is 9 out of 15 in this game from the charity stripe.
Yeah, it's those free throws too. I mean, anytime you can get a free point.
Bilenchon off the pin down. It's a screen from Gomez. Step back to the right. That shot off to the left. Pontejos, splitting the D there. And the foul will be called on Pingoy, which he vehemently denies. And Gensan now over the limit, so 2 free throws ang mangyayari dito para kay Paulo Pontejos. Trying to salvage what pride they have left in this game. Down by 29 points. Make that 28.
Yeah, ganun-ganun lang ang basketball, Avi. I mean, earlier it was quite a small lead, and all of a sudden, it's a big lead. So, you gotta take each possession. Each possession is really precious, so you gotta value it, really.
75-48 is the count. 27-point advantage para sa Gensan. Pingoy at the controls here for the white shirts. They really love to run that play.
Yeah, it's their, seems like their go-to play. Anytime you can get a knockout play, easy 2 points, you'd always run it.
It looks to me they start it from a ball screen. Tapos may misdirection papunta sa basket.
Yeah, it looks like a Spain screen ang tawag doon, like screen the screener action. Tapos may the dive to the basket and the alley-oop. Works every time, especially if the defense doesn't know it.
In this lineup, the roster that Gensan has is very much catered to that with guys like Dan Orbeta, and kanina nakita natin Don Reverente was set up for that play 3 times.
Oh, dapat athletic ka.
Oo. Bilenchon. Oh, step back from way out. Steph Curry range. JP Bilenchon knocking it down.
Yeah, he loves doing that. I mean, I saw this in the 3x3 level. I went up against JP Bilenchon, and he loved to do that. That jab step, size you up like a Kobe Bryant style shot, makes it far.
He has impeccable footwork ito si JP Bilenchon. Pontejos, another miss. And here he is, cherry picking. May sidestep pang pinakita. Ito si JP Bilenchon.
Gusto ko yun. Parang inabangan pa niyang banggain siya eh. Pero it's a good move. Footwork right there from JP Bilenchon.
Oh, he's always had the flair for the dramatic. Ito si JP Bilenchon. Matias operating inside. Gets the foul against Brian Hilario.
And for a team also like Laguna, trying to see the side step from JP Bilenchon. See the swag over there.
We bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OKBet. Own the win. That's JP Bilenchon. 5 straight points para sa kanya.
And like I was saying, Laguna, it's really tough to end games like this. I mean, down big, you just sometimes the morale is down, so you gotta dig deep and find it inside yourself to really end the game on a high.
Pride na lang talaga ang linalabanan dito. Matias splits his charities. 80-49 as we head into the final 2 minutes of this one. Later on, we have the Caloocan Excellence victory liner, James Martinez and company, looking to extend their winning run to 2 against the home team, the Muntinlupa Cagers. Remember, Caloocan, their last win was against the top team in the Southern Division in the Batangas City Embassy Chill, right on their home floor. One of the biggest upsets in this season.
Yeah, everybody loves upsets, so that's what sports actually in general is all about.
Yeah, you know, upsets always good for any league.
Yes, and it's always fun to root for an underdog.
Lalo na tayo mga Pinoy, favorite natin yan. Pingoy to Belenson. JP drives. There's going to be a foul called. That's going to be against Raymond Matias. And meron pang konting kiskisan na nangyari doon.
We're seeing lots of stray elbows over here. Mga ligaw na ligaw na siko minsan. Pag minalas ka talaga, it's really gonna be an eyesore.
And you hate to see this at this point of the game where the outcome is all but decided. Really, no reason for you to do these kinds of things. There you go, JP Belenson, after the foul was called.
I mean, that's just frustration on the part of Matias. And of course, Belenson, I guess, just stood up for himself right there.
But in any case, never was the right thing to do. If you were JP Belenson, you're up by 23 here. My math is correct. Sorry, 33.
Yes, and human emotion, that's man's biggest enemy.
You would know a thing or two about
Yes,
that.
I could
Actually,
attest.
more than a thing or two.
I could attest to that, Javi.
Unsportsmanlike foul on number 3, Raymond Matias. That was the second unsportsmanlike foul on Raymond Matias. Raymond Matias out of the playing court.
No, he's thrown out.
Unsportsmanlike foul on number 16, JP Belenson. His second personal foul.
There you go. Second unsportsmanlike foul of the game para kay Raymond Matias. That means he is gonna graduate from this game in the last 1 minute and 11 seconds of this match. Pero sa kabila, tinawagan rin ng unspo. Ito si JP Belenson. Ayun naman pala. Kaya naman pala nag-retaliate ito si JP Belenson. That hit was to the eye. But once again, the outcome all but decided here. Pero mukhang may tama nga dun sa mata.
He has a big, I guess may meron siyang pasa sa ilalim ng kanyang mata.
That right eye. A little mark showing just below it.
And like you said, Avisadi, we have a minute, a few seconds left here to end the game, and we have this commotion going on. So, really hate to see it.
Yeah, never a good thing for it to happen, whether you're on the losing team or you're on the winning team. Very sad that this had to unfold in the dying moments of our game. Serios will replace Matias here on the floor. And because it was 2 unsportsmanlike fouls called on opposing players, they will just cancel out. So no free throws, but ball possession will stay with Gensan. Pingoy, I can tell he likes this matchup against Nieles, but way off on the three-point attempt. Palhares pushing it. He will score, not quite.
I hope we end this game without any other commotion, because sometimes these dying seconds open windows for like what we saw earlier with Matias and Belenson.
Well, let's hope Belenson and Matias did not open a Pandora's box, but just as we were saying that, Año Nuevo giving a bump to Belenson on the three-point shot from way, way out. That's the 5th foul of Pat Año Nuevo. Cap and toga moment para sa kanya.
3 free throws for JP Belenson.
3 free throws now will be taken by JP Belenson, who has 7 points in this game. He, however, misses on the first try. Belenson is a 75% free throw shooter this season. Second one is good para kay JP Belenson. Top scorers here para sa Gensan in this game. Elorde has 14, Masaglang has 12, and Marlon Gomez has 11 in the game para sa Gensan Warriors. Pajarito also has 10 points, so following up his 20-point outing with a decent performance in this game. Didn't really have to do much because of the performance as a whole nitong Gensan Warriors.
Yeah, total team effort for Gensan.
And the Warriors will move up to 14-6, a game ahead of the Sarangani Marlins. So right now, at this moment, they take the number 4 spot in the Southern Division. And if the playoffs were to start today, they will take home court advantage at least for the first round, while Laguna, their chances of making the postseason gets dimmer and dimmer with this loss as they slide down to 3-16 and extend their losing run to 4 straight games. Our player of the game, none other than the birthday boy, Nico Elorde. This player of the game is brought to you by OKBet, the official partner of the MPBL. With OKBet, own the win, 14 points, perfect from the 3-point area, 4 out of 4, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Yeah, the birthday boy. He was just getting started. He was trying to get in a rhythm, and we saw in the third quarter, he really got in that offensive rhythm of his. He was playing good defense at the start, and to end it, he really scored a bunch of points there, and he's the best player of the game.
Coming off the bench and scoring all of those markers, he is with Mika Ebesamis. Mika, go ahead.
Maraming salamat at kasama ko nga ngayon ang best player of this ball game, ang birthday boy na si Nico Elorde. Happy birthday to you. What a birthday treat na nanalo kayo dun sa game na yon. Pero sabi ko nga kanina, importante na talaga lahat ng laban ngayon. What are you thinking getting into the next rounds?
Sa amin, we just take it one game at a time. Sabi nga ni Coach, yun, mag-focus kami kasi ito na yung training namin pagdating ng playoffs. So, kailangan seryosohin talaga namin lahat ng laro.
Meron ka bang mga gustong pasalamatan at batiin, lalo na ang pinsan mong si Garen na talaga namang sumuporta sa'yo dito ngayon?
Unang-una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord sa laro ng binigay niya sa akin. Yun, sa family ko na nakasuporta sa akin, yan, sila Garen, si Mitch. Salamat talaga. Tapos sa sponsors namin, sa OKBet, CD14 Sportswear, Genki Skin, Tycoon 69, and Iconic Motor Sales, Brother Inc. And salamat sa Anta sa binibigay niya sa akin.
Alright, maraming salamat and congratulations and happy birthday again to you, Nico. This player of the game is brought to you by OKBet, the official partner of the MPBL. With OKBet, own the win. Javi, Dar.
Thank you so much, Mika Besamis. Congratulations once again to Nico Elorde and happy birthday as well once again to Nico Elorde. Congrats to the Gensan Cagers for winning that game. Up next, we have the Caloocan Excellence Victory Liner going up against the Muntinlupa Cagers. That is going to be at 9 o'clock. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this game. For my partner, Darvish Bederi, for Ms. Mika Besamis, this has been Javi Palanya. Please join us later on for our third game of our Tuesday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.